And today is Saturday, and it is going to be a great day because it is masterclass training. My name is Grace, and it gives me such great pleasure to welcome you to this affiliate marketing presentation. And I understand that it's going to be on BTCC, Bitcoin Code, and it is going to be masterful, very impactful. So please make sure to get your pen and paper and notebook, because I know you're keeping a notebook. Get it ready to take some notes, jot down some questions, and be ready to jot down the answers that you'll receive because our master trainer will answer some questions. So today, you know that as far as the roster is concerned, and you know that Bitcoin Code is the foundation of affiliate marketing 3.0. And if there's anyone who knows how to be able to convey that information with confidence and great experience and knowledge, it would be our presenter today. So, one of the things that you need to do now, because I know that you have uplines, sidelines, downlines, you need to call those people that you have been affiliating with and ask them to join you right now because this is very important training. It is the foundation of everything that you have been here putting your time and energy into. And so you want those other folks to join with you. They may have forgotten, they may still be suffering from time change and things of that nature and different scheduling. So please do them a favor, remind them. And in the meantime, Trashit is, we're going to welcome Trashit to begin his masterful training on Bitcoin code. Trashit, coming all the way from India, I know it's late where you are, so thank you so much for the time and energy that you do devote to this and to this community. And I turn over the floor to you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Grace, and welcome everybody. Yes, it's early morning here in India, but one thing that I have really been passionate about is this project, Affiliate Marketing 3.0. I love presenting this project to everybody, and that is the reason why closely associated with Chavez, the top leadership, and with this project, I have the privilege of getting some best insights that I can on this project, and I'm more than happy to share it with you all. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Trashit. I'm from India. I'm one of the rank leader in this project, and I have had privilege in my life to work with great minds, but I have never been more fascinated with meeting someone like Chavez. He is a brilliant tech person. He is. I have known him as a person, as the CEO of this project, and what I can recommend is he is one of the best person, best helping hand that you can have to stay afloat in this crypto and blockchain industry. Then I had the privilege of working with great leadership such as Lucky. She is one of the finest leader in the system. She is not one, and the kind of leadership she has endured, she is amazing. And then we have such wonderful rank leaders and this community every day learning, every day thriving. This is all amazing. So one thing that you are looking for in 2025 to grab an opportunity, but as well as to excel in this opportunity, then this is the right platform for you. And in fact, this is one of the finest training that you are going to be getting on the foundation of this entire ecosystem. So tonight's training is going to be on BTCC, the Bitcoin code, the fundamental coin of our own native blockchain, BTC20 smart chain. I'll again request everybody, grab as many people as you can, invite them. Meanwhile, we'll prepare for this presentation, for this training, and we will begin this amazing presentation that we have scheduled for you. So allow me to share my screen with you all. and let us begin this. I'm sorry. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Affiliate Marketing 3.0. We have already played the disclaimers, so I hope you are all aware. We are sharing an opportunity with you all, but the due diligence is expected from you all. This is a training, this is a master training, in fact. So please make sure that you are aligned with this basic instruction. So this is going to be 40 minutes of your undivided attention. Grab your pen and diary so that you can take notes and keep your questions ready, because of course at the end of the session we will be taking some questions. And please limit the questions to the topics, and we will first allow single questions per participants. If time permits, we will have more questions from other participants as well. So tonight's training is all about the Bitcoin code. Why we decided Bitcoin code? Because we already have had trainings on other products that we have in this beautiful ecosystem, and right now we are on the verge of launching one of our exclusive product that is going to be Boomerang 2.0, which will be launched on this Friday. So we had this special date tonight, and we thought this training had been pending for a long time, and I think this is the right time to take this training. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Bitcoin code, or BTCC, is the basics of this entire ecosystem. It is the fundamental coin of our blockchain. And before we dwell into details, let me help you with understand let us start from the core concepts. And we will this training specially will help you understand how did we evolve to BTCC. So, starting with blockchain, everybody knows blockchain. Everybody knows that blockchain is associated with cryptocurrencies, but not many know that it is a technology. It is a technology.
Hacemos trading con Exnes. Sacamos provecho de los mejores precios en oro y petróleo, incluso durante los movimientos del mercado. Opera con los mejores precios del mercado y punto. Exnes, born to trade.
Feels like a dream, feels like magic. Now I believe I can have it. Ooh, ooh, Tamu, all of my wishes came true. Shop like a billionaire. Shop like a billionaire. Ooh, Tamu.
Download the Temu app and shop like a billionaire.
Descubre la experiencia de GoDaddy Airo al comprar tu dominio en GoDaddy y deja que la inteligencia artificial se encargue de todo. Encuentra el dominio perfecto, crea una web, diseña tu logo y mucho más con la ayuda de la inteligencia artificial. Impulsa tu futuro. Prueba GoDaddy Airo en godaddy.com.
That every block is interconnected to the previous and the next block, preceding block. So for that reason, it is very difficult to change any data on blockchain. So every transaction, every change, everything that is happening on blockchain is like a new transaction. A new block is created for every information. And that is why blockchain transactions are immutable. Therefore, there is a saying like, if you really want to change the transactions, or if you want to, really hack the blockchain or change the transactions of the blockchain, it will take like many hours of entire internet to be shut down, and which is practically impossible. So for that reason, blockchains are considered to be very secure technology, and they are one of the finest technology to be utilized for recording cryptocurrencies transactions. But how did cryptocurrencies evolve? So the next topic for us to understand is how did we got to this decentralized economy or decentralized finance. So this happened back in 2007 when the world faced world's greatest recession. In 2000 December 2007 to June 2009 is considered to be the period where the economy was on its lowest, and the world was facing a global recession, and it is considered to be one of the greatest recession of all time. There were many reasons why this recession happened. You can google them. One of the main reason was subprime mortgage loans. Loans were provided to people who were not capable of leveraging it, or able to fulfill it. And because of that, this great recession, it happened. And one other major factor that led to the recession was the failure of the world's largest bank, Lehman Brothers. So this was the world's largest bank, and can you imagine what impact it will have on an economy when the world's largest bank, it files bankruptcy? So if this would have been a small bank, it would not have mattered. But this bank was connected to different banks of the global economy. So for that reason, it impacted the global economy. So failure of such a centralized financial system, this was like a this was very alarming. And for this laid the foundation of a decentralized system. Now this is a classic example of a centralized system failing. Other examples of centralized systems are like the government systems, the banking system, the business organization, regulatory bodies, franchise system, internet technology. So these are all centralized systems. So in this, the control is with some central entity which practically dominates, or that conducts how these systems will be run and how the things will be organized. And any decision, any wrong decision, it will impact the entire system. So these are all classic examples of centralized system. But because of the failure of Lehman Brothers, there was a question on the successfulness of this centralized system. So right or wrong, the central authority will always decide the fate of subordinates in a centralized system. So, this laid the foundation of a decentralized finance or decentralized economy. And then the Bitcoin was introduced. So Bitcoin was originally introduced in a white paper, and this white paper was published online. And in a way, there was it was described in that white paper that how a digital coin, although it might not be valuable right now, but in future, as the demand and supply will play a major role, it will be very exclusive. So the first domain of Bitcoin was registered. www.bitcoin.org was registered in 18th of August 2008, and that's how this laid the foundation of Bitcoin. Then on 31st of October 2008, link to the paper authored by Satoshi Nakamoto was published, and Bitcoin peer-to-peer electronic cash system was posted on cryptographic mailing list. And this is how somebody for the first time introduced a digital or a decentralized electronic cash system. Then on 3rd January 2009, the first Genesis block of Bitcoin was created, and this is how Bitcoin came into existence. Now you must understand this: for any blockchain to function, nodes play a very important role. So nodes practically save the backup of all the transactions. They practically are the fundamental blocks of a blockchain. So the first block was released on 3rd of January 2009, and in a way, the Bitcoin blockchain started recording information of the Bitcoin transactions on 3rd of January. So the first block, it is called the Genesis block, because there is no preceding block to it. So the first block of Bitcoin started in 3rd of January, and later on, any transaction on Bitcoin, they got attached to that block. So when this white paper was published, in that paper it was published how Bitcoin can be mined in a decentralized fashion using internet, and the it was also mentioned that how the supply is fixed and how this supply will come into existence. Described in that white paper was the initial supply of Bitcoin, that is 50 Bitcoin rewards to all the miners every 10 minutes. So this is how the Bitcoin journey started. Now, if we speak of Bitcoin blockchain, so the total supply is 21 million right now. 19.84 million already has been mined. That is, it has already come into supply in the 16 years from 2009 to 2025. The initial supply was 7,200 Bitcoin. That is, of course, 50 Bitcoins every 10 minutes and 7,200 Bitcoins every 24 hours. But the current supply is 3.125 Bitcoin. So from 50 Bitcoins to 3.125 Bitcoins, why did this happen? Because of the halving. Bitcoin halving happens in every 4 years. And so far we have seen 4 halvings of Bitcoin. Now, the supply of Bitcoin is only through mining. That means nobody can claim Bitcoin from the daily supply without mining. So 19.84 million Bitcoins are already in the supply, but this have already been mined through the nodes and through the miners. So what is Bitcoin mining? So Bitcoin mining is the process through which new Bitcoin enters the market supply. So this is like a exclusive digital currency which can only come into existence through performing certain computational task, and that is called mining. So it is also the way network confirms new transactions and is a critical component of the blockchain ledger maintenance and development. So miners and nodes, they play an important role contributing towards the supply of Bitcoin. So what do you require to start mining Bitcoin? So first of all, of course, a digital wallet, Bitcoin wallet, high-end processor. Nowadays, the Bitcoin mining has been so much commercialized that it's very expensive to remain competent in this type of business. Uninterrupted power supply, of course, as long as your miners and nodes are connected, you will claim mining rewards and nodal rewards. So uninterrupted internet connection also plays an important role. Air conditioner for cooling processes, of course, it is a very energy centric process because these processors, they perform all the computations for 24 by 7, and for that reason it generates so much of heat. So often mining farms are located in cold areas in or cold regions, and then the recurring cost of electricity, wear and tear of hardware and appliances. So these are all the cost of mining. So, back in 2009, when the Bitcoin mining was started, Satoshi Nakamoto was the author of that of the white paper, and only we can say that he was the only person who would have completely understood this Bitcoin mining, right? So he was initial miner. Then later on, when people started understanding this, when people started believing in this, then they started participating, and all the people who were initial miners of Bitcoin, they claimed the maximum supply of Bitcoin. And right now, these guys are millionaires and billionaires. So it is very important to realize an opportunity at its early trend, because that's how you will be able to leverage it to its full potential. So there are mining farms in capacity of large football grounds, and this Bitcoin mining has been so much commercialized because the the supply is reduced every 4 years. And that's called Bitcoin halving. So what is Bitcoin halving? So Bitcoin halving is a event that happens every at the creation of every 210,000 blocks. So we know how a blockchain transactions are recorded. So every block is added to the previous recorded blocks, and as the Bitcoin blockchain completes 210,000 blocks, halving event occurs. And this halving event, in fact, takes approx 4 years. So starting from 2009 to 2012, 2016, 2020, and recently we had last year in the month of April 2024, the recent halving. And in every halving, the supply is reduced. And because of this halving event, this hype is created. And because of this hype, the entire market gets bullish. And because of this halving event, it is a tendency of Bitcoin. If you scroll through the previous records of Bitcoin and its trading history, you will observe that after every halving, Bitcoin crosses its previous all-time high. So the latest halving happened on 19th of April 2024, and right now the current supply is 3.12425 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And preceding to this succeeding to this halving, Bitcoin again followed the pattern, and again it crossed its previous 68,000 all-time high to this time at 109,114 thousand dollars in January 20th, 2025. So usually, almost like in a year's span after the halving, Bitcoin crosses its all-time high. And speculations are like Bitcoin is still bullish right now. The tendency of the market is still bullish, and Bitcoin might cross $150,000. This is a presumption. This is not a fact, and it is our point of view. You must do your own due diligence. So this is the record. This is the already available on CoinMarketCap. You can as you scroll through Bitcoin code, you will realize this. So $109,000 all-time high. Can you imagine? In 2009, Bitcoin was worthless. It was having no value. From there, $0.009 to $109,000. This is the exceptional journey of Bitcoin. And for every crypto enthusiast, it is very important to understand how this journey has been covered and why Bitcoin went from 0.009 to almost $109,000. So these are all the halving details, and the fifth halving is expected in 2028, and the new supply would be 1.5625 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. So why this unprecedented growth in cryptocurrencies? Why from $0.009 Bitcoin went to 109,000? It is all because of demand and supply. So the supply of cryptocurrencies is fixed. And most of the traditional or institutional cryptocurrencies, you will observe that the supply is fixed. Now, if we speak of Bitcoin, the supply is 21 million. All right. And so far, 19.84 million already has been into supply, already come into supply. So how much is left? Only 1.16 million Bitcoins are left. Only 1.16 million Bitcoins. So how much time it will take for this 1.16 million Bitcoins to come into supply? So considering, let me go back, and considering 19.84 million took 16 years from 2009 to 2025. It took 16 years for 19.84 million. So what can you presume? How much time this will take? 1.16 million Bitcoins to come into supply. You will be astonished to find that it will still take 115 more years for like for Bitcoin's total supply to come into market, and the potential year is 2140. So this is Bitcoin, and that's the reason why it is rare and exclusive. But why it will take so many years? Because after every halving, the 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 supply gets reduced, so less and less Bitcoin are getting into supply. So obviously for assets which is high in demand and less in supply, the value of such an asset is it's tend to increase, right? And Bitcoin is on the similar pattern. So this demand and supply, if you just go through the logics, if you just go through this basics, so 8.11 billion population of the earth, only 21 million Bitcoins on the earth. 19.84 million Bitcoins already mined, only 1.16 million Bitcoins are left. So demand is high, supply is limited, prices are bound to go high. And this is just a beginning. Bitcoin has just crossed $100,000 this year, but from next year, the next halving, it can go to unimaginable value. So with the latest evolution in the DeFi, the decentralized systems, latest technology being evolved, a new concept like DAO being introduced. So everything in cryptocurrencies is futuristic and very, very promising. So if you are not been able to understand Bitcoin so far, then this is gonna be very, very late for you now, because this is the future. This cryptocurrencies is future. Like we say, like emails have replaced post offices across the world because of the new technology. Internet has almost replaced the manual work, so technology will take its place. So if you still don't believe in DeFi, if you still don't believe in cryptocurrencies, so like like Chavez mentions, just wait for 5 years. Banks will be providing loans against your Bitcoins. It is going to be recognized. It is going to be valuable. So this is Bitcoin's valuation. So from $0.009, Bitcoin went to $109,000. So but not many people will realize this even today. Many people will not believe it, but we have testimonies, we have examples, like in May 22nd, 2010, some person, he bought 10,000 Bitcoin worth two pizzas. Of course, Bitcoin back then was just $40, but today it is expected. Just imagine 10,000 Bitcoins if you have today, how much worth it would be. So in 2025, right now, Bitcoin is priced at $84,000, right? And if back in 2010, if anybody would have invested just $1,000 in Bitcoin, it would have been worth 2,500 Bitcoins today, and it would be valued at $210 million. So can you imagine 210 millions from 1,000? It's unimaginable, but it is possible, and we have many millionaires and billionaires who have been able to leverage this. And there are many Bitcoin millionaires as a living testimony of the valuation of Bitcoin. So how did we get to this, and how did we get to BTCC now? So understanding what Bitcoin has gone through this entire case study that we have seen of Bitcoin. So many people have attempted to to capitalize this, to copy this, but not many have been successful. But we have somebody like Chavez who is as brilliant as he can be, and he got into this early trends of cryptocurrencies. He started being a tech person. He started understanding this technology, and he likes to keep in trend with technology. So he understood cryptocurrencies long way back in 2016, and since then he started understanding Bitcoin, and through this he was in a way capable enough with his expertise, with his experience, to launch a blockchain which is running on the exact protocol of Bitcoin. So BTC20 Smart Chain is is the blockchain which is on the exact protocol of Bitcoin. Launched on 3rd October 2023, it is a EVM compliant blockchain. So Bitcoin is the fundamental cryptocurrencies. It is the mother of all cryptocurrencies. It dominates the market, but it has its own limitations. So to remove this limitations, or to eliminate these limitations, Ethereum was developed as a second cryptocurrencies. So Ethereum was like a new version of blockchain of Bitcoin, but it had its own challenges, right? So every technology has its pros and cons. So EVM is the second largest cryptocurrencies based on market cap, but EVM, Ethereum, it had its own challenges as well, but it was it was far more better, or far more competent in terms of technology compared to Bitcoin. So in 2000, in something around 2015 or 16, Ethereum was launched, and through this a new era of blockchain technologies, it was launched. And there is a like in computers we have operating system. So EVM is like a competency for blockchains to be able to execute smart technologies on itself. So EVM is Ethereum virtual machine. So our blockchain is EVM compliant. That means seamlessly we can run smart contracts and decentralized application on our blockchain. Then our blockchain offers highest TPS, that is transaction per second. If you Google the TPS of Bitcoin, it comes to something 7 to 8 TPS, transaction per second. Visa and Mastercards have 20,000 TPS, and in ideal condition, we have on our blockchain 64,000 TPS. Then one of the key factor in the adoptability of blockchain is gas fees. Like the biggest challenge on Ethereum is gas fees, right? It's only because it is very much advanced in technology. For that is the only reason why Ethereum is being adopted, and the smart contracts and the decentralized applications are easy to implement on Ethereum. But if it not been have been the case, then Ethereum would have been a difficult blockchain to work around things because of the gas fees. So our blockchain offers the lowest gas fees. And of course, with every blockchain, the gas fees is in its native coin, right? Like Ethereum, the gas fees is paid in Ethereum, and for all the other blockchain, institutional blockchain, the gas fees is paid in its native coin. So here also the gas fees is paid in BTCC. BTCC is the fundamental coin of BTC20 smart chain. Now back in October 2023, Chavez laid the foundation of this blockchain. Now, this blockchain was on the core concept of Bitcoin, but being more advanced in technology, it was scalable, it was EVM compliant, and that's the reason why it is also referred lovingly as the next evolution of Bitcoin. But we are in the exact protocol of Bitcoin. So the supply of BTCC here is 21 millions only, and this supply makes BTCC rare and limited. Like Bitcoin, the supply of BTCC is also only through mining. So that's how the supply of BTCC is also presumed to be of 140 years, right? Like Bitcoin. So starting this blockchain wasn't easy. Lots of technical things had to be organized and researched and designed and developed. And finally, on 3rd of October, we started the first Genesis block of BTC20 Smart Chain. And this is how the journey of BTCC started. So 21 million BTCC were logged in a smart contract, right? And through this smart contract, every day, like Bitcoin, few BTCCs are released. And through this release of BTCC, everybody who is mining, they are claiming BTCC from the daily supply, especially the nodes and miners. So it had to be given a value, right? So what Chavez did is he started with a minimum liquidity. Now, liquidity is something that we all should understand. So
People say that email marketing is dead.
Absolutely not.
What everyone is missing is that email marketing is one of the best converting channels.
For connecting with your leads and turning them into loyal customers.
That's why you should test every aspect of your funnel before promoting it. That is the power of a list, as Pedro mentioned at the
they are very critical to determine the value of the coin. So when the supply is more, but the liquidity is against it is less, the value of the coin will be less. And when the supply is less and the liquidity is more, the value of the coin will be more. So it's very simple to understand. It's very simple to understand. So let us say you have $1,000 in liquidity, right? And there are 100 coins. So the value of each coin, if we relate this liquidity to the coins, so value of each coins will be $10, right? Now, as these coins, they come into supply, right? People start purchasing it. And as people start purchasing it, they start contributing to the liquidity. So this way, the number of coins, they become less, supply becomes less, and liquidity increases. So the value of the coin also increases. So let's say if anybody purchases like 10 coins or maybe 50 coins, right? So if the coin is priced at $10 and if anybody purchases 50 coins, so that's like $500 addition to the liquidity. So now the liquidity has increased to 1500 and the number of coins is 50. So now what would be the value of each coin? If you see, there are only 50 coins left and the liquidity is 1500. So the value of each coin is 30. So the value has increased from this to this, right? This is how, the pumping and dumping of the coins are also done. So what usually happens in this crypto market is people, they release a coin, they manipulate the liquidity, and this is how a coin's value is appreciated. And then when it reaches to a certain level, the coins are dumped. So if you do the reverse of this thing, so the liquidity will exhaust when you sell the coins, right? When you purchase, the liquidity increases. When you sell, the liquidity decreases. So this is how a coin is pumped and dumped. So what Chavez did is Chavez started with a on-chain liquidity for this coin. So there is a on-chain liquidity, and compared to the supply and that on-chain liquidity, a value of this coin is determined. So here you can see with a minimum liquidity, Chavez started this value of the coin. So the 21 million coins are logged in a smart contract. Every day, coins are released from this smart contract, and this adds to the supply. And everybody those who harvest contribute to the liquidity, and compared to this supply and liquidity, the value of coin, it appreciates and depreciates as well. So we started this journey from $3, and this coin has all-time high of $217 in just 16 months, from October 2023 to right now March 2025. So this is how, the entire the flow of the supply of Bitcoin code has been designed. And because of this, BTCC is rare and limited. And if you have not yet understood the Bitcoin, then it will be difficult to understand BTCC as well. So let me give you another perspective. So Bitcoin launched in 2009. We have already gone through this, right? 21 min supply only through mining, halving every 4 years. The initial supply was 50 bitcoins every 10 minutes, right? But it is a fundamental blockchain, and very very institutional blockchain. Nobody knows the exact source of that blockchain. So the new technology like smart contract cannot be deployed on that blockchain. Bitcoin mining also is very energy centric. The Bitcoin mining has been so much commercialized, it leaves a carbon footprint, and because of this there are challenges in many countries in which Bitcoin mining is sanctioned. So if if anybody comes up with a solution to this, what if from this traditional mining we can evolve to a digital mining? So that's what we did. That's what we achieved as a new blockchain. So Bitcoin code was introduced in 2023. The blockchain was launched, and it was designed on the same exact protocols of Bitcoin. So here also the supply is 21 million. Supply is only through mining, halving every 4 years. Initial supply year two is 50 BTCC every 10 minutes. So it's now very easy to relate, right? Bitcoin, the Bitcoin code. The name itself has Bitcoin in it. It's like a uh, predecessor to Bitcoin, right? But if we speak of technology, we are a layer 2 blockchain. We are EVM compliant. And for that reason, we are fully scalable to latest and advanced technology. And we are absolutely digital. So the biggest challenge with Bitcoin blockchain is its energy consumption. And we being into digital mining, we are absolutely environmental friendly. So, for any business to be successful, it's important to provide a solution. If you provide a solution, your business is definitely gonna be, successful. So here we are with a solution to the biggest challenge with Bitcoin mining. All right. And zero maintenance mining. It's very easy to implement the NFTs, and maintenance is almost like zero. Now, how and why we should get involved with this? So first of all, we will understand the why anybody should start investing, start mining, start getting a node, because we are on the exact roadmap of Bitcoin, right? And if we are on the exact roadmap of Bitcoin, it would be very, it will be very like critical to say that we will be exactly like Bitcoin. But let's say not exactly like Bitcoin, but even if we are able to trace a little dimension of Bitcoin, even that would be great for us. So let's have another perspective on the based on the tokenomics. So the supply for both the blockchain is 21 million only, halving at every 210,000 blocks, right? Applicable to both Bitcoin and Bitcoin code. So Bitcoin halving so far has occurred 4 times. Starting from 2009, when mining started, we have 4 halvings, one in 2012, 16, 20, and 24. So the first Genesis block of Bitcoin was in 2009, when the supply was 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And the value of Bitcoin was almost like $0.009. This is where the era of cryptocurrency started, right? Now, after every 210,000 block, Bitcoin halving happens and the supply is reduced to half. So from 50 to it came down to 25 Bitcoins every 10 minutes. And this triggered and the exclusivity of Bitcoin. People started realizing, people started believing, and for that reason, when people start participating, Bitcoin reached its all-time high of more than $1,100 for the first time. It went into four digits. Then the second halving event happened. Then more and more people started getting involved with this. And as people start adapting to Bitcoin, the after second halving, the supply was reduced to 12.5 Bitcoins and it went to all-time high of 20,000 plus dollars. And then in 2020, the third halving event happened and supply, went down to 6.25, and the all-time high was 68,000. And then recently in 2024, in April month, the fourth halving event happened, and the supply right now is 3.125 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, and the all-time high is $109,000. So from $0.009 to $109,000, this is the journey of Bitcoin, what Bitcoin has achieved in this amazing 16 years, right now in 2025. Okay. Then Chavez understood this. He started researching, he started designing, he started developing, and he delivered this blockchain back in 2023 with a limited supply of with a limited liquidity, but with 15,000 plus miners. We still remember that the day when we plugged in our NFT to this digital mining. So the supply was started like Bitcoin. We started the supply with 50 Bitcoin code per 10 minutes, right? And from there, we are having a successful journey so far. So from 2023 to 2025, right now we have progressed in terms of miners as well as in terms of value of Bitcoin. But the supply is still the same. It's 50 Bitcoin code every 10 minutes. So from $3, we have reached to an all-time high of $217. From 15,000 miners, we have reached approx 150,000 miners. And day by day, more and more people are getting involved with this. More and more people are adopting to this. So we have not yet achieved our first halving. So can you imagine if not the exact trend of Bitcoin, but even if we are able to align ourselves with Bitcoin and achieve even a trace of Bitcoin, so BTCC has a very bright future. And with someone as experienced and like an expert like Chavez, we believe we are in good hands. So BTCC first halving is expected to be around 2027. And with this, the supply will be reduced to half. That is from 50 to 25 BTCC every 10 minutes. So how can you grab this BTCC? How can you invest in this BTCC? So the first and easiest way to get involved with BTCC is to grab this miners. Xeon GT1X, Xeon GT10X, Xeon GT100X. So this miners gives you exclusive mining benefits to claim BTCC for as long as the blockchain is live. So that's approx. Now the 21 million coins are locked for 140 years, right? So with a single miner as well, you will be able to claim BTCC for like 140 years. So $50, $500, and $5,000. So what is the basic difference between these miners? Why are they different, and how do they differ in terms of technology? So every miner has I'm sorry, just a minute. So every miner has a hash power. Hash power is its ability to claim from the daily supply. So more the hash power, more you will grab from the daily supply. So the daily supply is 50 BTCC every 10 minutes, right? So every 10 minutes, all those who are claiming from this supply, they will claim, but depending on their hash power. So hash power is equally, not equally, but depending on the hash power, BTCC from the daily supply is distributed to all the miners, right? Another critical component in this NFTs is the B fuel consumption. So I always give the example of a car. So when you purchase a car, you 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 consider two main factors. One is its speed and the average of fuel consumption, right? So year two, hash power determines the speed of the NFT with which it will claim from the daily supply. And if we see the fuel consumption, if you compare it from the car, so like we have expensive cars, but they don't give that average, good average. They consume more fuel, right? In a similar manner, so the bigger the value of the NFT, more hash power it will have, but more there will be the B fuel charge as well. That is the cost of mining. All right. So this is one of the method how you can claim BTCC. Another uh, another way to claim BTCC is through node subscription. So nodes subscription, like we have mentioned, nodes are the fundamental blocks of the blockchain, right? All the records, all the transactions are in a way stored as a backup copy in this nodes. So nodes play a very critical component. They offer their services in terms of computation, validations, verifications, and keeping a consensus on the public ledger. So for this, nodes are rewarded. So who can become a node to the blockchain? So practically for BTC20, you require a physical processor, you require a hardware with a minimum configuration that has been fixed by the techs, and through that compatibility, you can become a node. So you need a dedicated computer which can be plugged into the network for 24/7, and with that, you claim node benefits. So this node benefits are nodal rewards, which are in BTCC. Now, exclusively, we offer a high return of 182% in terms of BTCC nodal rewards. So BTCC nodes are at 13,500 value, $27,000 value, and $54,000 value. Three categories of nodes. Each node have its different functionality, but for us, we don't need to get into to technical details. It is all at the back end. All we need to do is subscribe to this nodes packages. And the benefit is all variants of the nodes are for 182% of APY, and the rewards are in BTCC. So let us understand this nodal rewards as well. So just I'm making it simple for you to understand. So with $54,000 value of a node package, you get approximately 54 BTCC every month. What is the calculation? We have explained this in yesterday's sorry, the day before yesterday's Thursday's live Q&A session. With $27,000 node subscription, you get 27 BTCC every month. And with $13,500, you get 13.5, approx 13.5 BTCC every month. So this is valid like until the supply is 50 BTCC every 10 minutes before until the first halving. After the first halving, this supply will also reduce. If this supply reduces, then this supply will also reduce. So 54 will become 27, 27 will become 13.5, 13.5 will become 6.3135 or something like that. All right. But the benefit is this is just a one-time investment, and you will be getting this. I mean, not this, but BTCC for like a lifetime, because of course the blockchain, you receive these node rewards until the blockchain is functional. So once in a lifetime subscription, and you get rewards, nodal rewards, as long as the blockchain is functional, is live, let's say live. Okay. And the major benefit is if the value of BTCC it appreciates, you claim more benefits, not just limited to 182% APY. So this is how everything has been organized. This is how everything has been designed, and this is like an opportunity which is limited and rare. So participate in BTCC mining through miners, through node subscription, and make the most of it. So tonight's presentation or this training would give you to help you understand Bitcoin. And if you are in true sense able to understand Bitcoin, then BTCC would appear to be one of the most not lucrative, but one of the most benefiting opportunity for you to participate. And this 4 years, from 2023 to 2027, before the first halving, these 4 years are very important, because that's the only time when you will have the highest supply of BTCC. After every halving, the supply will reduce to low value, but it will of course appreciate the value of BTCC as well. So it is very, very important for everybody to claim BTCC. It is, you can start with even $50. So make sure that you do that. And how do you benefit from mining and everything? Let me give you. So this is the mining dashboard of BTCC. You can plug in your NFTs and you can claim So here you can see, this is the dashboard. The 21 million supply is locked. So far, this is the circulating supply. That means from 2023, this many BTCC are already in supply from 21 million, and the 24-hour volume, then the circulating market cap based on the value of BTCC, and the countdown to next halving. 923 days, 24 hours are left for the next halving.
Lucidchart makes intelligent diagramming easy and helps your best ideas become real. Start from scratch or get started with templates. Shape your ideas with hundreds of shape libraries, from technical systems to flowcharts and process maps and even org charts. Lucidchart integrates with your favorite software applications, so it works where you work. Share documents with teammates. Commenting and tagging make it easy to align with your team. Understand the past so you can build your future. Ditch complexity. Seize clarity. Start diagramming today with Lucidchart.
Let's see. So the first halving date can be something around 2nd October 2027. Okay. So after this, the supply will reduce to 25 BTCC every 10 minutes. Right now, it's 50 BTCC every 10 minutes. Now you can have your miners plugged into the blockchain, and you claim BTCC from the daily supply. So this is the claim from the daily supply, right? But there is a cost of mining involved with this, because with institutional mining of Bitcoin also, there is the electricity cost, there is the processor cost, there is the daily wear and tear, hardware, and internet charges. So here too, depending on the hash power and the biofuel consumption of each NFT, you are incurred biofuel consumption charges. So this is like your asset. This is what you have claimed from the daily supply, but it is still on this DApp. It is not available to you. It will be available when you pay this biofuel charges. And as you pay this biofuel charges, it goes to liquidity. And if anything adds to the liquidity, it appreciates the value of coin, right? So, if you go to this, just a second, scan.bitcoincode.technology, and you have this is the explorer of our blockchain, right? If you go to BTCC, you will find this is the smart contract where 21 million BTCCs are logged, of which 20.2 million are left. This will come into supply in across like 139 years, 138 years maybe. So this is, on we say that blockchain never lies. These are all the this is the entire records here, and these are all logged on the blockchain. This is all smart contract, and somewhere you can see there are these are wallets, and many this is a wallet, this is a wallet, this is a wallet. You can see people have already started accumulating BTCCs, because this is, if you know of Bitcoin, how Bitcoin millionaires and billionaires, they became millionaire and billionaires. So this is another opportunity for everybody to to claim BTCC and have the esteemed financial freedom what you are expecting from participating early in this trend of technology. All right, so that will be all from the presentation side and training side, and thank you so much for joining this call. Over to you, Grace. You there, Grace? All right, no problem. So anybody, if you have any question related to the topic, we will quickly take a couple of questions, and after that we will conclude the session. For your questions to be answered, your virtual hand should be raised and your camera is expected to be on. So anybody have any question?
Oh, Tashi,
Yes, Grace.
you said that this might be the best training ever. And I think that is a foregone conclusion that
Yes.
this is the best training. As you see the relationship between BTCC and Bitcoin, as Trashid is able to transition and relate those two so precisely. Carol has a question. Carol, can you turn on your and please go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Hello everyone. Hello, Grace. Hello, Trashid.
Hi.
Trashid,
Yes, ma'am.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I don't have a question yet because to replay this, because you really talk fast. But I have a question after I would have listened to it again. But I will tell you this, and this is my opinion. This is brilliant. Brilliant. What I think is that you make this crypto world that is high technical a little easier to understand. And from
Sorry
my
to interrupt you, Miss Carol, but you're going in and out. So is there any way that you can steady that so we can hear you clearly and steady?
Yeah, a phone call keeps coming in and I keep turning it off. I think that's the problem, but I'm sorry about that.
Okay, not a problem. Understood.
Yeah. And just to finish my thoughts, you know, in college, for example, if you're an accounting major, like some of us, they start you with fundamentals. Who is calling? They start you with fundamentals, and then you go to advanced classes and you graduate. Okay? This will be a fundamental class for anyone who comes into crypto. Because the truth is that people in our age group are intimidated by crypto because of its okay. So anyway, in summary, this is brilliant, and this should be handed over to comes to crypto for the first time. Thank you so much, Tracy. I mean, you always impress us. Thank you. God bless you for this training. A lot of
Thank you, Carol. Thank you so much.
Okay, that was great. Sorry that it kept going in and out, so we couldn't capture all of it, but I believe that you wanted to impress upon the fact that this was such great training. It is foundational, it is a building block, it's the basics, and Trashit was able to clarify and get to and to be able to go ahead and convey that, right, Carol? Excellent, excellent. Anyone else? Anyone else wish to? Sabine, please go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Yes, good evening, Trashid, and good evening, Grace.
Hey.
I struggle in understanding the hash power and the yield for the year 182, and I can't understand the difference in with the 3 miners, the 50, the GT1, the 50, the 500, and the 5,000. It is just making more in the same time, right?
What is making more?
Each miner.
Yeah.
It is, do they produce in every 10 minutes 50
So, Sabine, it is like, you know, like let us have a water bottle, you know. If we have a water bottle, like 1 liter water bottle, and right now in the Zoom there are 80 participants. So this 1 liter will be distributed amongst, if we distribute equally, it will be distributed amongst these 80 participants equally, right? But we are at different locations, we have different expertise, we have different skill sets, so that can be presumed as hash power. So anybody who would be having more hash power, they would, the distribution is same, the supply is same 1 liter, but anybody who would be having more hash power, they will be getting more from this daily supply. So let's say, like, if we have like 3 people, one of them is an expert, one of them in average, and one is like mediocre. So if 100% is to be distributed, so obviously it will be like 70% would go to the expert, 20% will go to the average, and then the 10% to the following. So hash powers are like the rate at which you claim from the daily supply. So to claim more from the supply, you need to have more hash power. And how can you increase your hash power? By adding more NFTs or buying high hash power NFTs. So hash power is clear to you, right? So depending on your hash power, you claim from the daily supply. And as every get involved with this mining, the claim, they become more competent. Okay. So it's like inflation, you cannot escape it. But with multiple sources of income, you can, average it. So as more and more people will get involved with this mining, the claims to the daily supply will be lesser and lesser, but you can increase your share by increasing your hash power. So that is how hash power works. Now, B fuel consumption. So associated with every NFT, there is a cost of mining. You don't claim BTCC for free, because if you would have been mining Bitcoin, right, you would be incurring electricity charges, internet charges, the wear and tear, the maintenance, right, of the mining. That all contributes to the cost of mining. In a similar manner, what Chavez has brilliantly designed is he has introduced a energy quotient. That's what we call B fuel, right? So associated with each NFT, there is a consumption of B fuel. So if the hash power is more, B fuel that the NFT will charge will be more. If the hash power is less B fuel cost will be incurred to you. So, this is how everything has been organized. And anybody who would like to claim from the daily supply, I mean, they claim from the daily supply, but they cannot take it out. To take it out, to be able to share, to be able to transfer, to be able to use BTCC, they need to pay the cost of mining, that is in B fuel. And when they pay the cost in B fuel, that all goes to the liquidity. It ends up to the liquidity. So that's how sometimes when there are people who have been organizing this harvesting events, and they all together they get into this harvesting event, they pay the B fuel cost, they harvest BTCC, and that's why sometimes we see the spike in the value of BTCC. Right. This is how the value of BTCC will increase if everybody starts harvesting. Approx 80% of Bitcoin code, which has been in a way got into supply, it is still logged in this DApp, people have not yet harvested. If this 80% of BTCC, if people harvest, the price of BTCC will jump to approx $700 to $800. People are not harvesting, so it is responsibility of leaders to teach their community how to harvest. If we keep on harvesting at regular intervals, even with, like, we have more than 150,000 of miners, more than that, I believe it should be something around 200,000. If all the miners, they start harvesting even with $100, so just imagine this $100 from 150,000 miners, when it gets into liquidity, it will appreciate the value of BTCC. So harvesting is very, very effective, and we all should, progressively contribute to the harvesting of BTCC. Or else mining BTCC and it is just, in the DApp, it doesn't make any sense. Right.
Right, thank you.
Sabina, I
Yeah.
appreciate your question because sometimes we take it for granted that we understand exactly what hash power is and the cost of view fuel and all that. So thank you for every once in a while refreshing that for us. Okay. Thank you for a great question. Agnes, are you having you're in twice? I'm hoping that you'll be able to go ahead and unmute and ask your question. Go ahead.
Hi, Miss Grace. Hi, Trashid. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for all the help you guys are giving to the community. I have a quick question about liquidity pool. I actually put my RAP BTC in liquidity pool, and I don't know how to check to look if it is in there.
What you're not able to get? I'm sorry, I did not understood your question.
I deposit my RAP BTC in
Yes.
liquidity pool.
Yes.
And I don't know how to check it. It's been there for a while. I don't know how to go in and look at it.
So have you already put your BTCC into the liquidity pool, or you are trying to put?
I put it. I don't know if I did it right or I don't know. So I just want to go in and look at how it is.
So
I don't know
when
how
you
to
go
get
to
in.
the liquidity pool section, right under the interface, you will see your liquidity pool. Have you scrolled down? Have you checked when you connect the right wallet?
So do you want me to share my screen or just follow what you're saying?
You can share your screen. Make sure your MetaMask is logged in.
Okay, I should go to MetaMask, right? Yeah. So what do I have to do here?
Go back.
Go ahead.
Press that arrow key.
Okay.
So you can see your liquidity. Tap on that. You have added BTCC and USDT.
Yeah, but I also put RAP BTC there.
So it's not there.
It's not there. It's not in my wallet. So where is it?
You can check on the blockchain. I'll stop sharing your screen right now. You can check on the blockchain, or maybe you can just drop your wallet address personally.
I should drop my wallet address.
Do you want her to do that on the DYQ?
No, not the DYQ. Just put it here. In
Direct
DM.
to you?
Yes.
Agnes, in the chat, please go ahead and send your wallet address direct to Shashid.
Okay.
And you can take that call you can bring that on the Thursday call.
On where?
On the Thursday live Q&A.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thursday, 7 p.m. UK time time.
Okay.
Okay,
Agnes,
Agnes?
is there anything else related to the training tonight?
Oh, so you want me to send the address or not?
You can send me the address so that we
Okay,
can
I'm going
help
to
you
send
on.
it right now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Agnes, what is just to be clear, you're sending the wallet address right now, and then you're going to follow up on Thursday night.
Yes.
Call.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay,
Very
thank
good.
you.
Thank you so much. Great question. Edith,
Thank you.
please go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Hi, thank you for taking my question. I share this with people who they do their own mining. And the discussion that we have is, well, I do mining, they use solar panels and, which it decreases the amount. And so they really asked me, or at least this one person asks me, well, why is the consumption so high, and what's the breakdown of where is the consumption monies going towards what? What is the breakdown? That's what I get asked.
So anything that we harvest that goes to it adds to the liquidity. And like I have explained how a value of a coin is created, if liquidity keeps on increasing and the supply keeps on decreasing, the value of coin, it appreciates. So when usually people buy a coin, they are taking out from the supply and adding to the liquidity. So that's how the value of the coin increases. And when people sell a coin, so they are taking out from the liquidity, they are adding to the supply. So that's how the value of coin will decrease. So Edith, you can give a simple example. If you have $1,000 in liquidity, and if you have $100 in coin, 100 coins, sorry, in numbers. So each coin will be valued at $10, right? Is it correct?
Mm-hmm.
So when people buy this coin, right now the coin is at $10. When people buy this coin at $10, they will add to the liquidity. Money will get to the liquidity, right? And the number of coins from 100, because now they are with people, with the person who has bought it. So that much will be off from the market, right? So the coin in the market will be reduced in number and the liquidity will be increased. So that way the value of the coin will appreciate. In a similar manner, when we sell a coin, so we take, when you sell a coin, you get money in return, right? Where that money is coming from, it's coming from the liquidity against that coin, right? So when you sell a coin, you are giving coins back to the supply and you are taking money from the liquidity. So liquidity will reduce, the supply, the number of coins in the supply will increase, and if the supply is more, liquidity is less value of a coin, right? So right now people are claiming from the daily supply. You can see on the DApp, you have claimed BTCC from the daily supply, but you need to pay a cost of harvesting to claim that BTCC, right? When you pay the cost in B fuel, that B fuel adds to the liquidity of against BTCC. So that appreciates the value of BTCC. Now, why the the cost of mining or the consumption rate is so high. Why? Because number of miners will keep on increasing, and they have increased so far from 1500 to 150,000, right? But has the supply increased? Supply has not increased. Supply is 50 BTCC every 10 minutes, right? So just imagine now, if there are 74 participants in this Zoom, and if we are to distribute 74 coins to each and everybody, how many coins each will get? Everybody will get a single coin, right?
Yes.
What if the number of participants, they increase to maybe 148? So everybody will receive half a coin, right? What if the number of people increases to 740? Then everybody will get even a smaller share of that, of the same coins, because the supply is fixed, right? Now, do you remember in the times of lockdown, the value or the cost of daily supply, it increased? Even basic necessity like milk and bread, even that increased in value at the time of lockdown. Why? Because the supply was cut off and the demand was more, right? So in a similar manner, here too, everything has been arranged in such a manner that the supply will be lesser and lesser, but the demand will be more and more, right?
So the prices go up.
When same number of people are claiming a limited supply, obviously the rate of consumption, the charges are definitely will be more for everybody. And will this be ever reduced? It will get down? No, it will keep on increasing, because the number of miners, they will keep on adding to this claim every day. So can you stop inflation? You cannot stop inflation. But what you can do is you can have multiple sources of income to beat that inflation. You can do smart investing to beat that inflation. In a similar manner, you cannot, the consumption of the biofuel or the cost of harvesting will keep on increasing. The more you delay in mining, starting your mining, more this cost of harvesting will be to you. So start as early as possible. Keep increasing your hash power, right? And if possible, then keep on harvesting at regular intervals. This is how you can stay competent with this increased cost of harvesting.
You probably have covered it and I probably missed it, but it would be good if we hear harvest, 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 but I don't remember, or I don't know of a video that I could go to that teaches me the strategy of harvesting.
This was just a foundation session. It was just the basics that we have covered today. Next session on BTCC will be technical, in which we will explain everything, like how do you get to this cost of harvesting, what is bfuel, how it is calculated, how can you calculate how much BTCC you are claiming every day. That all technical stuff we will take in the next session on BTCC.
Okay, I'll look forward to that. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Trashi, that sounds like, it looks like that will be the last question.
Yes.
And we can go ahead and be able to conclude. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, there is DYQ, there are forms in the chat. That's one's DYQ. Drop your question here. So if you were a little shy or did not know how to formulate your question, use this opportunity to fill out that form. Grab that form now and be able to formulate your question.